Bowser died 20 years ago, James. In an avalanche alongside his father. The man you're talking to now, the man inside your head, is Ernst Blofeld.
Yes, Christoph Waltz playing Blofeld is as awesome as it sounds. Unless you've been spending most of your life living in an Amish paradise, you would know that Christoph Waltz has joined the ranks of Christopher Walken and Gary Oldman as one of the great villain actors. But the thing that sets him apart from the rest is that where the aforementioned examples have a penchant for playing characters who are broad, on the verge of cartoony, Waltz employs his ability to channel great menace with considerable subtlety. Don't believe me? The man was able to bring intolerable tension in 3 scenes of the same movie, and these scenes feature him drinking milk, eating strudel, and cradling a foot. So when it comes to resurrecting the notorious leader of Spectre for this generation, can you imagine anyone better? And what's more, the hype pays off. More or less. His delicate tones are utilized to their peak potential, particularly in his first scene in the meeting where he's in shadow. You can believe that this man runs a covert criminal empire and can win the obedience of his subordinates. There's a fine line between serious and satire, and because Blofeld is a character who had been so effectively satirized in the Austin Powers franchise, in order for the concept of a cat-cradling megalomaniac to work, they needed to play it as seriously as possible. And to the film's credit, they do. There's no mustache twirling here, no quirks, just a man who rules a silent empire with confidence and grace which counterpoints his capacity for sadism and malice, traits of which are put on full display as he straps Bond to a chair and proceeds to drill into his brain. He's not doing it to gain information, he's doing it purely because he wants to. However, the reason he wants to is the thing that lowers him on the totem pole of best Blofelds. It's his motivation. If there's any villain one would want a villain to be compared to, we'd say Hannibal Lecter or the Joker. I don't think anyone really wants to have anything in common with Diamondback from Luke Cage, especially when it comes to weak motivation. Motives are important to a villain. If a villain is setting up apocalyptic plans because, say, an angry granny rolled over his foot with her scooter, it kind of diminishes the intimidation factor that an audience member would have for that villain. So finding out that Blofeld did this pure and simple because his father didn't love him as much as his adopted brother is just weak. And if you want Blofeld to have daggers out for Bond throughout the span of 4 films, there are better ways to do it. How do I know? Because that's what prior Blofelds proved. Isn't it enough that Bond is a threat to his operation and must be wiped out? Does he have to be Bond's foster brother? I'm not saying it's a bad backstory to dip into for Bond, but did it have to be attached to a character who's interesting enough on his own terms? While the presentation of this version of Blofeld is menacing enough to earn his spot on this list, it's the tacked-on backstory and motives that definitely keep him from being the best Blofeld.